Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the garden for 2025. Uh, well, I've started planting, so I wanted to bring you guys along and see where we're at, get you guys all caught up for the early garden season. And yeah, so today I'm going to be planting some more too, so I thought that you guys could join me. Probably about a week ago or so, I started planting onions, and I planted one flat. I have five flats of 72 cell trays of onions that I need to get out, or I already planted the one, but I got interrupted by very, very cold weather and tons of rain. So I haven't really been out much, honestly. It's been so bad weather, and so I'm gonna go over there and check on how well those are doing, if they are still alive, and you know how they are. Hopefully they probably aren't thriving, but hopefully they are alive still. But I brought another tray with me, and I'm gonna at least try to get that tray. It would be nice if I could get all of the onions put in today, because we have some nice weather coming. It's going to be in like the 40s and 50s at night, and about the 60s during the day, supposedly. We do have more rain in the forecast though, so if I could get them out today, that would be great. I also have been planting some seeds. So I started a few varieties of peas from seed. So I'm going to see if those have come up yet. I also started some radishes, but they are older seeds, so I don't know if they're going to sprout or not. We'll go check those out. What else did we plant? I started some lettuce, but the wind was blowing like crazy. I kind of feel like I messed that up. So I'm going to buy some more lettuce seeds, and I started some carrots as well. So hopefully those will sprout. I'll show you what I did there too, because I've been having some trouble starting some carrots from seed the past couple years, because I pull back the wood chips, expose the soil, and them darn robins come digging for worms and just kick my seeds everywhere. So I'll show you what I did to kind of hopefully prevent that and get some onions sprouting up. I've been working on a lot. So last year, you guys know, we did a huge garden renovation project. We added the herb garden and fencing and all of that, but we did not get the fencing all the way put up. So we currently still do not have all of the garden fence up. I keep telling you guys, hopefully this weekend we could do it. Hopefully this weekend. Yeah, we haven't, we have not gotten that far. We still have to do the fencing along the back and this side. So now that the weather's warming up, hopefully we'll be able to do that. We still have got to put up our grape trellis. I'm going to show you that. We did last weekend. My husband and I removed the old grape trellis and got the grapes all pulled off of that trellis. So that was nice to get done before they grow leaves and all that. And we did prune them. I pruned the elderberry. Been doing a lot of work out here, so I'm just going to kind of catch you guys up, bring you along, and show you what I've been working on. I've been bringing loads and loads of wood chips to finish covering up the grass here in this end of the garden in the walkway. And yeah, so hopefully we'll be getting the fence up soon and just be getting all caught up. Hopefully today we'll get the onions in. So yeah, I think that that's about it. I'm going to also talk to you guys about our raised beds we have in the back. But let's go ahead and check out the onions. We'll check out all the seeds that I sprout, or that I'm trying to sprout. See if any of those are coming up, and I'll show you the raised beds, kind of show you around, and then we'll get started with our planting the onions and see how far we can get. All right, so I usually split my onions up into a few different rows, and right this year I'm going to have them in the second row here. On either side of the lettuce. I'm going to have potatoes here in this front row, and I'm going to have more onions back here. I have it all on my map. So let's see, here are the first bit of onions, and they, most of them look really good. A couple of them look like they might not be with us any longer, but All right, well, it definitely looks like they suffered a little bit of cold damage, and maybe from all of the rain, the thunderstorms, and the wind. It was kind of a rough adjustment, and if I had known that the weather was going to take such a big turn, I probably would have waited another week. But they might be a little bit stunted, but I think that the majority of them are still alive. So, and now that we have some better weather coming, hopefully that will mean that they can bounce back and start growing, and hopefully these that we plant out today won't be stunted or anything, and we'll just have great onions. So right here is where I put the lettuce seed, or I tried to put the lettuce seed, and I don't see anything sprouting right currently. So that is right there. Again, the wind was blowing. It was the last thing that I was trying to put in the ground that day, and the wind was just starting to blow so bad. And yeah, they kind of just took off on me. So I'm not real hopeful about that. But all right, so right here, the ground here you can see is grass. So this is our outside fence posts here. So I need to bring the wood chips all the way over to there to the fence. And I've gone from the woods to there, which is about halfway, and then I have to just bring it all the way up to the front gate. So yeah, I'm about halfway there. It should only take me one day to do it if I'm doing it by myself, even less if I end up getting help. But I did put cardboard down here below the wood chips because it is quite grassy. We do still have a few fence posts to dig back here for the grape trellis, but here are the grapes. These three are smaller, the three up here a little bit smaller, and then these are the big ones. We've got three bigger ones. These were planted like, I don't know, 1 or 2 years before the other ones. This one's quite big. I did prune these, but I'm really not a experienced grape pruner, so did I do it 100% right? I'm not sure, but it'll be easier to once we get them up on their new trellis. The other three smaller ones we actually got, they were on their deathbed, and we got them for almost free from Tractor Supply because they were looking quite dead, and we ended up being able to bring them back to life. So we've got 3 over there, but they are smaller. Right here is the rhubarb, and that is coming up beautifully. I've just got the 3 plants. These I started from seed, I think 3 seasons ago. So definitely this will be my first year. I think that I'm going to actually be able to harvest some rhubarb. I'm pretty excited about being able to do that and make some, maybe I could can some strawberry rhubarb pie. That would be great, or do something with it. So we will go over, and here are the raised beds that I want to talk to you guys about real briefly, I suppose. So we've got these 4 raised beds, and these we were looking for something super cheap and super quick that we could just throw in and get done with it, because we were about to leave to go visit family for about a week or so out of town, and so we needed to just get it in, and we didn't really care. We didn't level the ground or anything. Like, we did no prep, and we just kind of put it in here. We didn't even put rebar in these corners. We did eventually put them in the front corners, but not these corners over here. So anyways, these have sunk in, they have shifted, and they are completely falling apart. These 3 are supposed to be for strawberries that are not planted here yet. This is going to be the strawberries that I have started from seed in the house. So end of May, it would be great if I could redo at least this bed. The last bed already has our asparagus in it, and this year will probably be the first year as well that we get to harvest from our root, or from our asparagus. So yes, these are in desperate need of being fixed or repaired or completely new. And my husband and I talked about it, and we both agreed that we want to do just completely new raised beds, and we actually both had the exact same idea of what we thought we should use for constructing those. So hopefully that is to come soon. Keep an eye out for that if you guys are interested in seeing what we do for our new raised bed system. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. I'm very excited. I think I've already calculated the cost of those, and it'll probably be roughly $100 per bed to do what we want to do with them, but it's just going to be kind of a pain in the butt because we're going to have to remove all of these, kind of set all the dirt and everything aside, get this out of here, level everything, construct the new ones. It's going to be hard work. So, but hopefully that comes before the strawberries are ready to go in the ground, end of May. So keep your eye out for that. All right, so right here is where I planted the radishes. And again, they were from, I think, 2022. So 3-year-old seed. Not real sure if they're going to come up. And it doesn't look like I see anything. And you guys know probably that radishes come up within just a few days. So I am not seeing anything. And it's been really, really rainy. And I'm not seeing anything right here. So yeah, I'm not really confident that those are going to come up. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So maybe I'll buy some more radish seeds and give it a go later in the year. Or maybe I could still do it. I could still try to plant some if I get out and get some seeds. Or we'll just try again in the fall with some new fresh seed. So right here is where I planted some carrot seeds, and I am not seeing any carrots either. Having some really bad luck right now with the starting seeds. But I will show you right here my solution to try to keep the birds from digging up my seeds. So I had some leftover little tiny funny shaped pieces of chicken wire from a project we had in the barn, and so I took those scraps and just kind of bent them and stuck them in the ground around where I put the seeds, and figured that this, although it won't keep out certain critters, I figured this will be enough to keep those darn birds from digging up my carrot seeds. So far, I see no digging, so it is definitely working. So at this trellis is where I planted the peas. These are going to be like your standard canning peas. It is mostly a Burpee variety. I think it's called Burpeean peas, and then a little bit of Alaskan peas. And I'm not seeing them sprouting yet. Oh, here's one, I think. Right there is one coming up, and oh, there's another one. Couple right there too. So they are just very, very early stages of starting to sprout. All right, so that is nice to know. So I think that they just need more time to sprout, but maybe it's not. Maybe everything's fine. I'm just not giving them enough time. They need a little bit more time to come up, so that's good. All right, and what I'm noticing, oh, and right here are the other peas that I planted. They are sugar snap peas, so let's take a look down here. All right, so I'm not seeing any of these sprouted yet. But those are, I can't remember the variety, but they are a sugar snap pea. My husband really wanted me to grow some sugar snap peas this year, so first year that I will be growing those if they sprout. One thing that I am noticing, and I am having a huge problem with, But it's fine. We just need to get the garden fence up. Something keeps digging in my tomato row. Like, it won't stop. And every time I think that they're probably gone and I rake my row back up and get it all done, it's all dug up again. So that's very frustrating. It's hard to get a good microbiome going in the soil when it keeps getting turned up and turned up and turned up every time you turn around. So, darn it. I just fertilized the garden too. We had a chicken coop full of bedding from last year that we didn't, when we got rid of the chickens, we left it in there over winter. So I sprinkled that on all of the rows, but my tomato row is just completely dug up. So very, very frustrating. Thankfully, I don't have anything planted here. Look at that. Is this rabbits? Or I feel like it's not rabbits. I feel like it is some kind of really pesky critter. A couple years ago, I buried eggshells in here, and I think that that is what they are going after, is eggs. Like this. Like, they are finding the eggs that I buried like 2 years ago and digging my entire garden up. So just a little note, do not bury eggs in your garden unless you have a very good fence. It's got to be like a possum or a raccoon or something, right? That would be going after the eggs. I feel like I need a security system out here. Okay, well, I will fix that if I have the time, but my priority has got to be the onions. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and hopefully at least plant a minimum of 1 tray of onions. And if I have the time and patience, hopefully all of them will get planted. But I might recruit help and get the kids out here to help me. And then after we work on the onions, I will walk you through the herb garden and show you all the things that are starting to sprout this spring. It's pretty exciting. So let's do it. Okay, I got 1 whole tray planted. That went pretty well. So I still have quite a bit of space in this row that's a little bit over halfway. So maybe like 1/3 of this row I can still plant. That'll probably be at least half a tray that I could fit here, maybe more. And then we'll have, let's see, I think I have 3 more flats in the house under the grow lights. So yeah, it's early still, I'm guessing. So I think I will go in the house and get another tray and get at least 1 more planted and just play it by ear, see how long it takes me. Oh, and I want to show you guys the rest of the garden. So let's go take a look real quick over at how the elderberry are doing and the raspberries. And we'll take a walk through the herb garden as well. And I think I'm going to have to lose this coat because when the sun starts shining on me, whew, it's getting warm. It's, I think, about 55 degrees today. So let's go take a look at some other stuff. Okay, so let's come back here real quick and check out the elderberry. If you guys, I don't know, maybe you didn't see my videos when I did that, but the elderberry, we have elderberry growing wild back by our pond area, and not last year, I think, but the year before. This is my elderberry's 2nd season. So last year was its first I think I planted it last year, and then like over winter last year is when I cut it. Anyways, I took cuttings from the wild elderberry back and by our pond area and brought them up here to the garden so that I could just have some elderberry more in my control and close to me so that I could try and get some more before the birds get it all. There's at least 3 or 4, I think, mature elderberry back at our pond area. So I thought that they would like this area under the trees a little bit. But I did 4 cuttings and only 3 of them took off, and I should have started another one maybe this year. But I thought I would wait and see if these 3 were enough because they will get quite large, I'm sure that you know. So right here's one, and I just pruned them. I pruned them a little bit late actually, but they are, you know, I might miss out on a couple flowers or something, but I needed to get them trimmed. They're kind of growing at a funny angle. I needed to get them pruned back. So they are starting to leaf out ever so slightly here and looking really good. So I'm excited to see what the elderberry look like this year and, you know, if they produce. Last year I had about 2 or 3 flowers total on all of them. So it's not like I didn't pick any or whatever. It was their first season. And yeah, so hopefully this year we get a few more. That would be great. But yeah, so that's the elderberry. Right here is a mulberry that I found. I don't know how this kind of got self-seeded. I stuck a stick in the ground so that I would remember, and it was quite small, so I wanted it to be more noticeable. But this is a tiny little mulberry tree, so I marked that, and I obviously don't need a mulberry tree in the garden, so I marked that, and I'm planning on at some point that will be relocated to somewhere more practical. Look, looks like a mullein right there. And back there in the woods outside of the garden fence, and it's all over. Right here, right there, all over around that tree up there is catnip. I accidentally planted that there. It's all over in the woods. I also have it in the garden, in the herb garden, but if the herb garden ever something happens to it, I have a whole bunch of catnip growing back here in the woods, and motherwort. Probably relocate more of this motherwort to where I want it. But that will be outside of the garden fence. This is the border of the fence. Also right here you see these huge raspberries. These are wild, and we have wild raspberries all over the place, red and black raspberries. So yeah, I let these grow, and there's a few more over in the corner over there. And my goal is to actually kind of cultivate these wild raspberries. I am going to relocate these. I really hope that I have a chance to do it before those leaves come out. You can see that the leaves are there and starting to bloom. So I might not be able to, but my goal is to relocate those to over outside of the garden fence. We have more at the edge of the woods over here. We have a bunch more wild berries. They're everywhere, but I kind of want to cultivate them in a way that they are growing in a row, and I can put a little kind of trellisy type system about them and just kind of cultivate them to tame them and groom them and care for them, pick the berries a little bit easier and see what happens. Because yeah, we do pick our wild berries, but it can be kind of difficult when they're laying all over the place, and it can kind of hurt. So, but I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to do, is just to kind of cultivate these wild berries. And over here, I'll just show you real quick. This is where I relocated the motherswort. I relocated a bunch of motherwort right there. It is coming up, and there's still some more that I will relocate. I want this whole corner to be motherwort. It's such an awesome herb and so useful, especially for us ladies. So right here, I had some borage, and I'm hoping that that self-seeds itself. If I don't see it coming up here in like the next month after our risk of frost has passed, I will probably throw some seeds in the ground. I don't know exactly how well some of these will self-seed in these deep wood chips, so it'll be kind of a surprise to see what happens. But let's walk up here to the herb garden section, and I'll show you the pretty things that are starting to come up. I did just order a rose bush, so I'm going to have my husband pick that up when I get notified that it's ready for pickup. Luckily, I found a nursery that carries the rose that I want, and it's only like $11 for a 1 to 2 foot rootstock. So, but if you need it shipped, it's like $50 for them to ship it. So luckily for me, I live pretty much local. It's a little north of me, but my husband works up there regularly these days. So he said that he would be more than happy to stop and pick it up for me. So I just went ahead and purchased it online for local pickup. And yeah, they're processing my order, so when I get notified, he's going to pick that up, and we will have a little tiny rose bush to start. That is so exciting to me. We'll talk about that in a second when we get over to where I'm going to actually put it. But right here is my lavender. They are huge. They got huge last year, you guys. It's so cool. So I can't wait to see them flower again, and I plan on harvesting a whole lot more lavender flowers this year because I didn't really take too much advantage of it last year. I did get gifted 2 other lavender plants. They are a different variety, so I planted those just up by my front door for now. I might have to relocate them. It's always a challenge when you have dogs. They try to pee on your flowers every chance they get. So if I have trouble keeping them out of it, I might just relocate them in here as well. But so that is the lavender. And right now, really, the only things coming up out of the ground is the catnip, I think a little bit of mint, the chives, the hollyhocks, the yarrow is going absolutely crazy, and the lemon balm. So those are all coming up, and we will have other things coming up though. The echinacea, it doesn't look like it's doing anything yet, but that will definitely come up. The bee balm, oh, the bee balm is going crazy as well. We'll see if our black-eyed Susans come up. They should be coming up soon too. What else do we have? We have holy basil. Hopefully that comes up. Hopefully that reseeds. What else? I can't really think of it right now. 2 little tiny birds just landed right in front of me. That's so cute. They don't even, they're not scared of me at all, apparently. It is that time of year. You guys know my husband built me a bunch of bird houses for around the garden last year when we redid this. And he is he's thinking about making a couple more, or some more to put around the property too, not just by the garden. But we really wanted to encourage bluebirds to come and nest here. And, you know, it wasn't long ago where the bluebirds in our area were nearly extinct. And so they have made a huge comeback here, and they're so good to have around your garden. So yeah, that's definitely encouraged in my garden to have these little bluebirds. They do a lot of good eating a lot of pests, like little insects that we don't like. So anyways, I am excited. It is getting close to time where they will be arriving, and hopefully they did nest right away last year in the houses that my husband built, and so hopefully they come back again this year. But yes, so right over here in this corner, you guys, is where the rose will go. So from the entrance coming over here, you have our little bench that we have. We have the echinacea here, and right in this corner is where the rose is going to go. It's got lots of space. It'll eventually pretty much fill up the majority of that corner. So that I'm very excited about. It's going to add so much just scent, so much beauty and awesomeness to this area where we can come and sit on the bench, and we will have the rose and we'll have our echinacea, the purple coneflower, and right here is a huge patch of bee balm. And look at all of the bee balm coming up, you guys. It is just packed full of bee balm. So that is great because I love bee balm. I love the look. I love the smell. I love it in tea, or you can put it in your honey. It's just awesome and a very helpful herb to have around. It's also helps to ward off pests and stuff from your tomatoes and in your garden and stuff. So I do have bee balm in the tomato row as well, and I noticed that it was coming up as well. But let's talk about the rose. What rose did I go with? So I decided that I definitely wanted to go with at least one Rosa rugosa. That is a kind of beach rose. I forget, I think it's from Asia, but I'm not 100% on that. But it got brought here, and now it's kind of invasive around beaches and things like that. But I wanted to go with the Rosa rugosa because it's the rose with the giant sweet hips. So I wanted those big hips that I can use for tea and that kind of thing for medicinal purposes and cosmetic purposes. So I do want it in the garden for a reason, and not just the flower petals. But also the rose hips. I use those in tea a lot, and they taste amazing, and they're super healthy for you. So that is what I'm doing. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get it. The hollyhocks, I'm so surprised the hollyhocks came up so quick. And we've got the mint. I didn't know for sure how well the mint would winter up in a container, but I guess it's mint. It did perfectly well. I need to clean out the bird bath. It's pretty yucky from all the leaves landing in it and then the water. So I will need to spray that out with a hose. And the chives are coming up fantastically under that. The yarrow is definitely spreading out a little bit, and it's coming up already. It looks great. And the lemon balm down here is looking great. Certainly the marshmallow will come back again. I did get the limelight hydrangea moved from out of here, so that's good. I planted it at the end of the clothesline, so that will look really pretty, especially as it fills out. And I did move my forsythia bush, and I put that at the end of the barn over by the water spigot behind you. So very exciting. All right, so I guess that's about it to show you. I know that it's not super amazing to look at right now. Everything's just starting to come to life. Everything is quite brown still this time of year, but it's exciting. You can hear the birds are singing, and you can hear all the little critters, the little insects and bugs and stuff chirping all over the place, which is super refreshing. The sun is super refreshing. It's making me feel really good. So, but make sure that you guys subscribe and follow so that you don't miss out on all of the garden updates. We do lots of garden videos around here. So make sure that you hit your bell so that you don't miss out. I am going to go in and get my fertilizer and put some liquid fertilizer on these onions now that they are in the ground. And I'm going to grab another tray and try to get another tray into the ground. And yeah, this is an awesome first day out in the garden with you guys. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. And we will see you guys again real soon. Have a blessed day, and bye-bye.